What's up, everybody? This is Mike Shuley from NextLevelGuitar.com. I hope your guitar journeys are going famously, right, in the words of the great David Taub. And I hope you guys are all practicing and learning every day and truly expressing yourself. And because that's what music is really about, just having a good time and really expressing the music that you have within inside yourself. I was going to talk a little bit about today about jazzing up some of your pentatonic for all you guys that are, you blues guys, or you guys that are into rock or whatnot, and you guys want to just spice up your pentatonics by adding some more jazzy kind of tonalities and feel. I was going to talk a little bit about that today, just adding some more kind of chromatic ideas and adding some kind of major tonalities, and also with some kind of Charlie Parker Dizzy Gillespie kind of feel to it. So let's get into that. The whole basis of our discussion today is going to be around the minor pentatonic scale, and it's just going to be our basic box shape. We're going to be in the key of G, and if you don't know the box shape already, it's simple. I'll show it to you. Just simply start on your 3rd fret here, and this is going to be the shape that we're going to use. Right? Very common shape. I'm pretty sure most of you watching this already know that shape. Very common in rock and blues and whatnot. But what we're going to do with that shape, instead of just kind of playing your standard kind of blues licks, we're going to add just some more jazzier kind of chromatic approaches to tones. So let's get into that. One thing I would like to mention about doing this is when kind of playing this, you could always add notes in between the notes in the scale. So for example, we have, so for our first 3 couple of notes, we can have this. And that sounds good, but instead of just playing these kind of notes by themselves like that, we can add chromatic passing tones in between these notes. I'll give you an example of what that sounds like. So we could simply do this. And that's really the basis of what I'm trying to discuss here, is that you can always add these kind of little chromatic notes in between the notes in the pentatonic scale, and then kind of go back and do like more of a pentatonic kind of run. And you could do that with the whole scale in general. So let me give you an example of that too. You could just simply go like this. Kind of a swing feel to it, you'll get kind of sounds something like this. I'll show you. Maybe I'll start off kind of bluesy first, something like this. Just that's a nice kind of example of what I'm trying to get across, is that you can always add these passing tones in between the notes in the pentatonic scale. And a nice note to always throw in there, usually blues players or blues guys always use the flatted 3rd. Right, if they're in G, it's a very common sound in blues and rock, is to do kind of like this kind of sound. They use that flatted 3rd. But what a lot of jazz guys is, guys like Parker and Miles Davis and guys like that, they use the major 3rd. So instead you'll have this. They use that major 3rd in there. And it's always kind of cool. You can always mix these 2 thirds together. So I'll play a line, something, give you an example, maybe like this. Something like that. You can always use these thirds with each other, and they sound really, really great. Another thing you can do is adding in both the raised 7th and the flat 7th in there, which is a very common thing in bebop. They do a lot. An example of that would be maybe something like this. See, I kind of just went up chromatically here. And that sounds really, really cool. And that's how a way you can kind of mix up your blues scales and kind of make them sound kind of interesting. You can maybe do a little bit of blues licks and then add little chromatic notes in there, and your listener will really find that interesting. Because it won't be the same kind of, the same 5 notes over and over and over again. So I'll play a little bit and I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'll play a little bit and so you can get kind of the feel of what I'm talking about. And I'm going to be playing over a jam track here that I made on my loop station. And we're just going to be playing over a simple progression, just a simple G7 chord. If you want to get that voicing, it's just a G7th, and I just add the 13th in there. And I just throw a little passing tone. I throw a D flat 7th in there with the 9th, so you can get these voicings. They're really nice, very common in jazz. And I'll play a little bit and kind of get you to feel what I'm talking about. Okay, so what you saw there, what I was doing is what I was talking about earlier. I was kind of starting off, using my typical pentatonic, blues licks, and then I did some, chromatic notes in there, using, things like that. You can totally do that. I was using the flat 7th, the 13, flat 13 to the 5th, and then I was also doing, utilizing both of my thirds, my major third and my flat third, also utilizing my raised 7th and my flat 7th, and then ending kind of in a bluesy kind of traditional way with my flat third. And that's just a simple way you can take your pentatonic and make it sound more interesting and have it more of you can add some jazzier tonalities in it, just by simply playing in the dots, playing between the dots. You have your dots here. Look at that, and just adding notes in between it. It just sounds cool. It's just a simple idea, and most people don't. They think that it's you have to get really complicated and you have to know a bunch of things, and that's totally not what it is. Just if you have like a good feel and you just add little ideas. It's not rocket science, right? It's only music. It's only music, right? So have fun with that. All right, this has been Mike Shuley here with nextlevelguitar.com. Be sure to check out the website. We have thousands of video lessons. It doesn't matter what level you are, if you're a beginner, if you're intermediate, if you're an advanced player. We have something for everybody, so be sure to check it out. All right, thanks.